Hey, I've got a question for you today. Do you believe anything enough that you'd be willing to die for it? There's an old quote that says you're not really living until you have something worth dying for. Or here's a related thought. Would you rather die doing what's right or keep on living doing what's wrong? Well, we're going to find Esther at this fork in the road. She has a decision. I could die for doing what's right, or I could do what's wrong and keep on living. Which one am I going to choose? We're picking up in Esther chapter 4. Yesterday we learned about this evil man, I believe he was demonically inspired, who sets in plan this motion for the extermination of 10 to 25 million Jewish people in the empire of Xerxes. By the way, part of the way he was going to do that is everyone else in the empire, this law got passed out. It gets spread, it gets translated into all the different languages, and it's months away, and everyone's told, hey, on March 7th, we actually know the date, on March 7th of next year, everyone go kill your Jewish neighbors, and then you can keep a bunch of their stuff. If they have a home with a nice view or a vineyard you always wanted, hey, if you're the one to kill them, you get to keep their stuff. Now, all their silver and gold is going to go back to the king, but you can keep their other assets, okay? So they know that everyone else is selfish and will be motivated. This plan is in motion, and the Jewish people all throughout the land, not only in the city of Susa where Esther and Mordecai live, but in Jerusalem and all the way over to India and into Ethiopia and up near Greece, the Jewish people in every province are mourning and wailing and grieving. It's literally a death sentence. They're counting down the days to their death. Now, in Esther chapter 4, Mordecai is mourning, and he's got on these, burlap cloths, and he's got ashes on his head, and Esther hears about this. This lets you know how little power the queen had. Esther, who has not revealed that she's Jewish, has no idea that this issue has gone out. She's off in the harem. The king has not asked to see her for 30 days. She doesn't even know this has happened. Well, Mordecai, when she says, hey, what's wrong? This is all through emissary messengers. Mordecai can't come into the harem. So they've got this messenger guy going back and forth. She says, what's wrong? I'm going to pick up in verse 7. Mordecai's talking to her messenger, and he tells him the whole story. Haman, the plot to kill the Jews, how he convinced the king to do it, how he's going to take the silver and gold from the Jews and pay $345 million to the king, and the whole Jewish nation will be wiped out, including the exact amount of money Haman had promised to pay into the royal treasury for the destruction of the Jews. Verse 8, Mordecai gave this servant a copy of the decree. So don't take my word for it. Here's one of the king's signet ring stamped decrees that has gone out throughout the entire empire calling for the death of the Jews. He asks this servant to show it to Esther and explain the situation to her. And then he also asks, will you direct Esther to go to the king and beg for mercy and plead for our people? So the messenger takes the message back. So we're going to pick up here tomorrow, but Esther now has a decision to make. Because in this culture, if she goes to the king uninvited, she can be killed. She could be killed for doing what's right, or she could do what's wrong and go on living. What's she going to do? I'll see you tomorrow.